Hello everybody, it's Kayla with the Celebration Company. Good morning. I am on early this morning. I have a very full day. So I am just coming on a little bit earlier than typically because I have some errands to run. But I hope I still have plenty of people hopping on. I see some people already joining me. Hopefully those notifications are going out as opposed to yesterday evening and the day before. Hopefully Facebook is getting their stuff worked out. But we are going to work on a banner today for the Super Bowl party. And I think it's going to be really cute, okay? It's, of course, going to be in Bengals colors, but, you know, you can obviously make it for any. This is one of those banners you can do for anything, okay? So it doesn't have to be football. It's just the idea, okay? So take it and run with it. So when you hop on, say, hey, let me know that you are watching. And we're going to get started here in just a sec. Here we go. Okay. Hello, look at this. Okay, we've got lots of good comments coming in already. Hopefully those notifications are going out. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Ethel. I know I'm early. Hey, Peggy. Hey, Marlo. Hey, Rebecca. Thank you, Amy. Hello, Denise. Hello, D-Line. Hey, Angie and Nuri and Jackie and Mara. Hey, LaDonna. Hello, Irene and Lena and Carol. Hey, Crystal. Hi, Susan. Hello, Rachel. Hey, Joyce. Hey, Rebecca. Thank you so much. I got it from Shein. Hey, Cindy and Diane. Hey, Denise. Hello, Vicky. Hey, Sandra and Irene. Thank you guys for the compliments on the sweater. Good morning, everyone. Yes, it looks like the notifications must have gone out this morning because I see a lot of you guys hopping on. So that's good, good, good. I'm so glad. I am so glad. I was worried it would just be me, myself, and I this morning. But I'm glad some of you guys are up early with me today, especially those of you who are in other parts of the country because, you know, I'm Eastern time, so it's later for me than it is for a lot of you other folks. But it is 8:40 here, and we are going to make a banner. So I have some Bengals colored fabric. Some of them are left over from Halloween, and then some of them I purchased at Hobby Lobby the other day. So I picked up an orange with some polka dots. And then I don't know why something drew me to this one because of the shine on it. I thought it would be kind of cool. So I picked this up. It's sort of, I can't really describe what kind of material it is. It's a little stretchy, but it was in the apparel section. So, oh my goodness, Rebecca. So anyways, I grabbed that, and then I've also got these that are left over. So we've got a black and white stripe and then some orange and black polka dots, okay? All right. So what we're going to do, and I've also got some felt. I've got some brown felt and some white felt. All right, so let's get started. This is going to be a scrappy banner, but we're going to add some footballs to it, okay? So it's going to be very simple. And the way that I do this is you're going to start by cutting some strips of fabric. This might not be long enough. Let me find this one here. It's going to be better. All right. So let me get rid of this. Oh my goodness. Diane says it's 5:40 at her where she's at. Goodness gracious. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to take and make 1-inch slits. A lot of the times when I do this, I don't make sure that every piece is exactly the same. This piece right here that I am cutting on is 18.5 inches long. And I'm going to cut little slits 1 inch apart. And then I just tear. All right, I prefer to tear. If you want to cut with pinking shears, then let me show you the easiest way to do that. Oh my goodness, Mara says it's 12:47 a.m. in Australia. Holy moly. You need to get to bed, girl. All right, so I've got some strips of the black and orange. So then, let me show you the best way to do. What I'm going to do is cut this in half. All right, so this is just a 1/4 yard cut off of a bolt. All right, I think that's what I like to do, is just to get a small cut of fabric because it's not very expensive to just get a 1/4 yard, and then you got enough to do quite a few crafts with, okay? You're not going to be able to do much sewing with a 1/4 yard, but for crafting, a 1/4 yard goes a long way. All right, I am definitely early this morning, Rhonda. So what I do, I've got one side torn. I'm just going to kind of clean up all the edges. So I'm going to tear a piece off of all the edges just to make sure they're all straight and nice and clean. Now, I will be honest with you, doing something like this, it generally is better if you use cotton, but I don't always listen to that rule because I just like to buy the fabric that I like. And so that's what I do. Okay, so I cleaned up 3 sides, and if you want to cut, okay, if you want to cut it instead of tearing it, let me just show you what to do. You're going to fold it in half, okay, like that, and then fold it in half again, like this. So you have much less surface to cut. So then you'll just take your pinking shears and you'll just cut 1-inch strips all the way down, okay? It's a lot quicker to do it that way than to sit and cut this whole length, okay? I am Jody, aren't I? But I'm just going to keep on with the tearing. I like the way the tear looks. But again, you know, do whatever makes you happy. Okay. So we're just going to tear them all. And I can't give you a specific, like amount of how many strips you're going to need. This is one of those things that just play around with it and do what looks good to you, okay? Hi, Teresa. I am good. How are you? Thank you for asking. All right, so I'm just pulling these strands off. And we're just going to keep going and just cut or tear strips of all 4 of our fabrics. Well, Rebecca, I'm actually not doing any painting or anything with this craft, so it's not a problem. I might have threads on me when I'm done, see? But that's okay. I'm sure that is the problem, that everyone is not getting notified. Okay, Terry, I'm glad to know that. I'm going to do a post about that today, just to make sure, because y'all know it's definitely been an issue. All right, so we'll see how this one does, because this is a little bit of a different material. But again, I'm just going to cut it in half. I could have totally just gone with a black cotton, but I just kind of liked the shininess. I think it's cool. Good morning, Donna. I am definitely early this morning. Let's see if it'll tear. No, it does not tear very well. So we're going to be cutting this one. All right, so here's your... The thing with different fabrics is that they don't always, they might tear, but they don't tear straight. Okay, so that's the thing with different fabrics that you have to pay attention to. So we're going to have to just cut this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm just folding it like that, and I'll just take my pinking shears. I'm going to cut the edge off. And you don't have to use pinking shears. You can use scissors. It's just gonna, the pinking shears keep it from fraying. All right, so then I'll just start going down and cutting 1-inch strips. And y'all, at the end of the day, don't fret about your strips. They don't have to be perfect. Once you put this banner together, you are not gonna see the imperfections of your strips. If they're not perfect, no one is going to notice, okay? No one. All they're going to notice is your gorgeous banner that you made. So see how much easier that is to fold it like that? Good morning, everyone. I see lots of y'all still hopping on. I'm glad to have some people on this morning. I was worried I would be by myself. Especially since notifications have been so wacky lately. Okay. All right, there we go. So there's those. I've got one more fabric to cut. Thank you all. Y'all, I got my sweater from Shein. Okay. So with this one, I am going to just, let's see. Y'all, and you can see I'm totally just eyeballing it, okay? I don't care if they're all exactly the same length or not. I'm tearing just a little bit off of one edge so I can make sure that it's all, that it's straight for one reason, because normally it's not. And the whole side has got that torn edge on it. Oh, good, Katie. I know, I know. Oh, good, okay. I'm going to make that announcement today to have people start going back and double checking their notifications. So, if you are watching, double check your notifications, okay? But I'm going to do a post about it. I am early this morning, Candy. Alrighty. Okay. So, we got all of our strips. Now, I may end up having to cut more later. I might not have the whole banner, like, ready. I generally do about 3 or 4 feet. But you could do, I mean, you can do as much as you want. But I think 3 or 4 feet is usually pretty good to put across a fireplace. Or for me, I have just it's a sideboard that I've got my TV on. So I usually just string something across that. So I don't need more than just 3 or 4 feet. So I tend to kind of stick with that. But 1/4 of a yard of each cut should be more than enough for you to get your banner completed, unless you've only got like one fabric. If you're doing it all in one color, then you're probably going to need more than 1/4 of a yard. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take some jute. I pretty much always use jute, but you can use ribbon, you can use twine. You want something pretty strong, okay? Because you are going to be putting a little bit of tension on it, okay? When we start putting all of these strips on there, it gets to be like yarn sometimes is not the best option. What I'm going to do, I like to tie my string onto something, okay? So I've got a little, I have a little shelf over here, and I can just kind of tie it on there. And so then I'm able to get a little bit, take away the slack that's in my string, okay? So all I'm going to do is just start putting these on, y'all, okay? And we're going to fold it in half like this, and then you just take it behind. I usually stick my fingers through like this, my pointer and my middle finger and my thumb. And then I just bring the tail up through the loop and then just pull it tight, okay? You want to always do it the same direction, okay? So for the next one, if I want to do this black one, I don't want to bring my tail up first and then loop it through, because they're going to be opposite. So when we tie it like this, one side has like a really pretty, let me show you, one side looks like this, where the other side looks like that, okay? So we want them all to be facing the same direction. They would, Sandra. So I always am going to go the same way. So since I started doing the loop side first, I'm going to pull the loop in and then stick the tail through. Okay, and then you just kind of pull it tight and push them together. Yes, it's a slip knot, exactly. Very easy to do. All right, so we're going to go through and we're just going to really quickly do all of these, and then we'll do, I'll show you guys how we're going to do the footballs. Okay, and I don't always like do a pattern. You can totally do a pattern. Again, this is one of those things that, and I mean, I'll say this a million times, you can do it however you want to. It doesn't have to be one specific way, okay? It truly doesn't. But you always, of course, want your patterned side to be on the outside. So, is anybody having a Super Bowl party this year? We are not having a party. My mother-in-law is hosting the party this year, but we are going, and I'm taking whatever decorations I make, I'm going to take over there to her Super Bowl party. That's right, Melissa. Y'all, let me tell on my husband just a little bit. He won't hear me because he never watches me. He never watches, so that's what he gets. But he, y'all, he has followed the Bengals for quite some time now. He didn't grow up following them. But when we lived in Ohio, he became a Bengals fan. He did not become a Buckeyes fan. Let me just get that straight. He became a Bengals fan, though. And, I mean, he has followed them religiously ever since, even when they were terrible. And my goodness, you guys, when they won this last game, he was on cloud 9. I mean, had tears in his eyes. So excited. So excited. Emily says, our booster club puts on a banquet for athletes at our high school, so I'm using all these cute ideas. Oh, that's a great. Yes. I mean, that's just it, y'all. I mean, these can be for sporting events, but this kind of banner here, I've made these with you guys before. They are perfect for any occasion, okay? Any celebration that you might be having, these banners are so much fun. They are so much fun. And y'all, a lot of the times if I'm doing this, I will tie the other end up as well. And that makes it a lot easier. So just so that, you know, just giving you a little idea there. If you tie up the other end, it'll make it a lot easier. Also, if you're a Bengals fan and you make this could double as Halloween decorations. Just remove the footballs that we are going to put on. That's right. Who said that? Jenny. Yes, Jenny. Agreed. My dad, I wanted to tell you, my dad's a Cowboys fan. He's been a Cowboys fan for as long as I can remember. So, I'm not like, I've never really had one specific team. I support the Bengals because my husband supports them. You know, that's kind of how I am. That's right, Christy. I don't know if I even saw your message when I said that. But this, yes. And that's what made it super easy for me, is I was able to just start reusing some of my Halloween stuff that I had gotten. He sure has had some disappointing years. That's right. Janice says, first time to catch me live. I'm so glad that you caught me live. Despite all the issues that we've been having lately with Facebook and notifications. We are working on, for those of you who are just tuning in, we're working on a banner. A very simple, scrappy banner for a Super Bowl party. But we are also going to be adding some footballs to it. Okay? So I'm just kind of trying. I'm not going to be able to complete it. It does take a little bit of time. Now, if you're just sitting here and you're just doing it, you can rock it out in 20 or 30 minutes probably if you've got all your strips cut and everything. It doesn't take too long. That sounds good, Melissa. I wish we could do it that simply. We have to have finger foods and all of that jazz. And I asked my husband a minute ago what he wanted me to make. I said, I'm making chocolate cupcakes for me. But what do you want me to take? And so he brings out this TikTok video. And I knew what he was about to show me was going to be way more effort than I wanted to give. Y'all, I enjoy cooking, but sometimes when there's a recipe that just involves so much, it's more stressful to me than it is enjoyable. You know, when there's like a lot of steps and it's going to take me like 2 hours to complete it, and there's frying involved. Yeah, it's stressful to me. So, that's funny, Nuri. And so, anyways, he shows me this video, and I don't know, you guys might know him. I'm not sure what his name is, but he's on TikTok. He's a big guy, and he usually wears overalls. And he likes to cook. And he's got his own hot sauce. He calls it Zippy Zap or something like that. So anyways, Andrew shows me this recipe that this guy makes. And it's I think it's hamburger, rotel. It's kind of like that delicious queso that you make, that you dip tortilla chips in. So it's the queso, it's Velveeta cheese, cream cheese, hamburger, rotel, onions, like just, you know, all that type of stuff. And then he adds shredded cheddar cheese in at the end, and it's super cheesy. And forms these balls, which, by the way, the mixture is somewhat loose, so it doesn't form into balls very well. Oh, and I forgot, he also takes another piece of cheese and puts it in the middle and forms this mixture around the balls, and then has to freeze them and wait until they freeze and they're hard. And then he takes Cheetos, spicy Cheetos, crushes them up, and takes these balls and dips them in egg, and then dips them in the Cheetos, and then deep fries this thing. It's a lot. It is a lot. And I'm like, I am not doing that. That is just way too much. That is way too much effort. Okay, so here we go. It's, of course, not done. I will have to do more strips and things, but y'all don't want to sit and watch me put together an entire banner. Exactly, Carolyn. That's my thought, and that's kind of what I told him. I'm like, I will make queso. You know, I'll make the queso part of it, but I'm not going to put it in a ball and put it in the freezer and deep fry it. And yes, it's just too much. Exactly, Holly. It's too much work. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. This is what it looks like so far. Isn't that cute? All right. So I really wanted to do some B's, you know, the letter B for the Bengals, but I didn't have any black felt. Go figure. I don't know why I don't have any black felt, but so I thought, well, let's do some footballs. Okay. So we're going to do some footballs to put on here. So I'm going to set my banner aside for now, and I'm going to tell you guys how to make some footballs. Exactly, Jenny. Exactly. It's like, you can make those, but I'm going to bow out on that one. Okay. I'm going to get my iron plugged in. Exactly, Doreen. I sure can. I can reuse it for Halloween. It'll be gorgeous for Halloween. Okay. So, I'm going to take some Heat and Bond. Okay, Heat and Bond. It looks like this. I use the red label. It's permanent. All right. And cut a piece. Really, Sandra? That's weird. I don't know what that's about. Maybe go out and come back in. Kathy says I keep freezing. Okay. I'm not seeing that on my end yet. I'll keep watching for it. Ethel says it's freezing up for her too. Well, that's weird. My signal is really good. Okay, it keeps freezing for everyone. Paula says it's fine. Weird. I don't know, y'all. I'm not sure. All right, so I'm cutting a piece. I'm going to keep on going, and if it's too frustrating to watch, just watch the replay. So I'm going to cut a piece of Heat and Bond. It doesn't have to be, you're not going to need a ton for this, okay? So I just cut a square to fit my little piece of felt, all right? I'm not using a very big piece of felt. I've got my iron set on medium, okay? And I'm going to iron this Heat and Bond on. Heat and Bond has paper on one side, and then on the other side, it has the actual like glue, and it's textured, okay? So you can see that one side is shiny, and then you can see that texture that's on there. So that's the side you want to put onto your fabric, okay? And so I just iron it on. When you're ironing it from the paper side, it irons on very quickly, okay? It doesn't take much to get it ironed on. So then I'm gonna let it cool, okay? I can't remove that backing while it's still warm because the heat and bond will just kind of start to stretch, you know, just like hot glue, kind of. All right. I'm working on a banner, Suzanne. We're making a Bengals banner, okay? So we're doing a little scrappy banner that looks like this. So I've only done part of it. I'll do the rest of it while I'm not live. I'm just going to show you guys a sample, okay? So we've done this part, and it's just strips of fabric that we tore, okay, and we tied on. All right, so now that this is cooled, I can remove the paper, all right, and you'll see that now you've got like a shiny onto your felt. All right, so we'll just remove that. Okay, and then I am going to cut out strips, all right? So I'm going to use my scissors, and I'm just going to cut some strips with this, okay? I'm just going to make them about 1/4 inch or so, and I'm just totally eyeballing it. I'm not, you can also do it with a rotary cutter if you have one. Do you make your banners that fall, or do you spread your strips out? I don't understand what you're asking, Lori. For some reason, that's not making sense to me. Full. You meant full. I always make them this full. Yes, I make sure, and sometimes they're even fuller. I always put the knots right next to each other. You can spread them out if you want to, but I always put the knots right next to each other. And depending on how many different types of fabrics and things I have going on, I might even push them closer together, okay? So, but I always just kind of make sure the knots are touching. The great thing about it is that if I hang it up and I want it to be a little longer, I can just kind of start to spread my knots out just a little bit. So you can do it, I mean, you have lots of options with this, okay? Lots of options. All right, so I'm just cutting strips like this. I'm not going to need too many, I don't think. And these are going to be the laces on our football. Okay, I'm going to start with just 4. Now, we need to make a football shape, a template. So I'm going to grab just a piece of chipboard, a piece of thick cardstock, a piece of cardboard, whatever you have. And I'm just going to just draw something. You could print something out on the computer. You could use, like, yesterday I made a centerpiece and I used one of those footballs from Dollar Tree. You could do that. You could use, you know, something like that. Maybe you have a template already or like a stencil. So, but I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Hopefully. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Okay, there we go. There's my football. All right, I'm gonna cut this out. Okay, here we go. So we'll just take this and I'm going to just trace it onto my felt, and I'm gonna do 2 of them while I'm live with y'all. I'm gonna use a permanent marker and I'm just gonna flip it over so I don't see the permanent marker. By the way, Hobby Lobby has their felt sheets on sale this week. I think they're 50% off. And they're normally, I think, 33 cents for just the regular kind. Okay. I am going to cut my football out with pinking shears, just because I like the way that it looks. Pinking shears, if you don't know, you can get them in any craft store. They are zigzag scissors, but they are made for fabric, not for paper. And they prevent fabric from fraying. Obviously, felt does not fray, but it adds a little decorative element. Okay. There's our little football. Now, if you wanted to make these a little bit thicker, you could do 2 layers of felt together. So you would just use your heat and bond, take 2 sheets of these, just cut a piece of heat and bond big enough to cover the whole thing, and just iron it together with your heat and bond, and you would have a thicker piece. You could also use a thicker felt. I know, Holly, I picked up some scrapbook paper this week because I needed some Eastery scrapbook paper. So I did pick up some things from Hobby Lobby this week. Let's see, I'm trying to think of the other things they had on sale. I think I mostly just got scrapbook paper. They had their unfinished wood $5.99 and up on sale. Still, Easter is still not on sale. Okay. All right, here we go. That's funny. Okay, so here are our footballs. So what we're going to do is take our little strips of white felt that we made, and we're going to cut them so we can lay some long ways. Thank you, Darlene, for the stars. And I'm just going to kind of match these 2 up together so they're the same. Hi, Mary Beth. I am good. How are you? Okay. All right, and then we're going to iron these on just right on the middle. So now we're going through felt. All right, so it does take it a few more minutes to go through and to actually stick well. Since the heat's having to go through the felt now, okay, as opposed to just through that paper. So we just put it right on the middle, okay. Let's do this one. And you might just kind of put your iron on let the heat kind of start to penetrate and let it start to stick before you kind of start moving it around, because then you might move around your piece. And you'll know that it's stuck when you try to lift it up and it does not come up, okay? Oh no, Alyssa, I'm glad it was just an ear infection. You know what? That is the one thing that Griffin as a baby, honestly, I don't know that my kid has ever had an ear infection. Ever. His entire life. Can you believe that? I really don't know if he has. If he has, he's only had one time. It's crazy. So then we're going to do the laces, and we're just going to cut some pieces to go across. I'm just eyeballing the first one, and then I'm going to use this same piece to just sort of match up all the others. And I'm thinking probably 3. I think we're going to do 3. It's crazy how some never get them and then some have them like every other day. You know? All right, so we're going to do 6 of our little laces pieces. I am making footballs, and these are going to go on our banner that we have made. Mary Beth, we've made a scrappy banner, and we're going to put the little footballs on there too. Okay, do I have 6? Yes. All right. So let's just arrange these. I'm trying to straighten the ends up a little bit. They look a little like the cut was a little crooked. Okay, that looks better. All right. So I'm going to set my iron directly on top and hold it there for a little bit, okay? I'm putting pressure on it too. I want to kind of let those start to stick before I start moving it. Thank you, Joanne. Aren't these cute? And you could do, I mean, you don't have to make the felt. And you can also just hot glue the white parts on as well if you wanted to. If you don't have heat and bond. Okay, so let's do the next one, and then we'll put them on. And then that's basically all I'm going to do to it. You could also, like I said, I wanted to do a bee for bingles, but I didn't have any black felt. So, but you could do a bee, cut orange felt out the shape of a bee, and then the letter B, not a bumblebee. And then just take black felt and cut like the tiger stripes to go on. Okay. All right, y'all. There we go. So I have my hot glue gun on. I'm going to put this on with hot glue, okay? Let me go ahead and turn off my iron. So here's the banner if y'all are just tuning in and you haven't seen it. We just cut some strips of fabric. I've got some orange in here. I've got some that's left over from Halloween that was orange and black. I had a little bit of black and white stripe. I love that. We used that in the centerpiece yesterday, and it looks so cute, and it reminds me of the refs. So I think it's very perfect for football, and I love black and white stripes. We've got sort of a shinier black fabric in here as well. So just, you know, have fun with it when you're picking out your fabrics. So then we'll take our footballs, and I'm just going to put them on here like this. So I'm just going to space them out every foot or so. And I'm just going to hot glue just to one of the knots. So I'm just going to take a little hot glue and put it right on the knot. And then just literally just sticking that football on. And I'm kind of putting them a little at an angle. This is adorable. And this way, if you want to reuse this for something, it's no big deal to take these footballs off. You might be able to even just tear them off, but if not, you've only glued them to one strip of fabric, okay, per each football. So you're only going to have to remove 4 or 5 strips of fabric, okay? Yes, Nuri, this type of banner is gorgeous to use for Easter. Okay, here we go. How stinking cute is this? Oh, that's cool, Angela. So darn cute. So I will finish this later. I don't know if I'll share a picture with you guys of it finished or not. It just depends on, probably not. Probably not because of the way that my schedule is today. But I will try to take a picture of it at the Super Bowl party and share it with you guys. So, but I will add another, I'll probably double. Okay, it'll probably be doubled. So what I have here, I will probably do the same thing and just kind of double it on the other side. So it's going to be double this size. And like I said, I generally do about 3 or 4 feet. And then I'll do 2 more footballs, okay? And add 2 more footballs to it as well. I think I'll do 2 more. Oh my goodness, I just got a bunch of angry faces. They're still coming. Who is giving me all these angry faces? I hope this is an accident. Oh my gosh. Listen, y'all, let me also say that I don't discriminate against anyone in whatever team you cheer for, okay? I just want to say that too, that I support the Bengals because my husband does, but I know, Megan, what is up with the angry faces? Thank you, Deborah, for the stars. Evidently, they don't like the Bengals. I don't know, but it's okay. You don't have to like the Bengals. You don't have to. This is one of those crafts that can be made for anything. And all we have to do is remove these footballs, and I can use this for Halloween. So, anyways, you guys, I hope y'all have a fabulous day. I will see you guys this afternoon. And yeah, have a fabulous day. I love y'all so much, and I will see you very soon. Bye.